Coming to you from the heart of the Pacific, brought to you by Paulie by Design.
Respected at all times.
Broadcasting from San Francisco, California, the city by the bay.
It's about to go down.
We shine on positive Pacific Islander role model every Sunday.
Party on a Sunday.
From 10 a.m. to noon, it's time for the iconic Faika podcast with your hosts,
Listening to
Naki and Carl.
What's up, Naki?
What's up?
Big controversy with Joe Rogan this week. You heard any of that news?
Yeah, India Ari is wanting to pull her music off of Spotify.
Who's that?
India Ari.
Well, there's a host of people that are asking to pull their things because of Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I think because they're accusing him of being a racist, which from the videos that I seen, in my opinion, he looks like he is one.
The power of sound clips. We're going to get into that today. The season 6, episode 6 of the Faika broadcast. Let's see. So we probably will talk a little bit about Joe Rogan because that's what's in the news right now. We're going to do our check-ins in the second half. We are going to be talking to Sela and Mata about the goings on in Tonga. That's really the focus right now of the Pacific Islander community, both abroad and at home. Everybody's trying to figure out how we can get support to Tonga. So we are dedicating today and tomorrow's show, the Koviki Talk tomorrow, and Faika today to that end. So that's our show today. Naki, what's up?
Good morning. Good morning to my Maury who's checking in on Facebook. Thank you for tuning in, my Maury.
Now we know where Maury is.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't know she's on the couch with the rest of the Niner fans.
Laying across the Steelers who have been there forever, just to let you know.
On the couch is on the couch.
On the couch. We're laying across the Steelers.
We on the couch with 6 rings. You can bring your 5 to the couch.
It's too early for me to be fucking you right now, giving you the F word. See, there you go. You started me already. We're moving on to basketball now. We're done with football.
The football season's over. Are you watching next weekend?
Over. I'm not. Maybe Mo will be watching football.
I'm watching for the halftime show. It's finally a halftime show. It's like the 90s all over again. You got Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop. I don't even know who the rest of them are, but they're musicians that we can relate to.
Yeah. So I might tune in for the commercials and halftime, but that's about it. Is the Bengals playing?
Bengals playing the Rams.
Okay, I'm going for the Bengals.
So am I.
So there you go. Oh my gosh, lots of stuff this week. My Malia had her basketball game. Her last home game was this week and they won. She loves basketball. So congratulations to my baby who won her game. What else? I'm still collecting stuff for the island of Tonga. I've been on the phone all week with people who are donating and dropping the items off at SF Enterprise. I love that I don't have to find transportation for DPR, who donated last week, is donating again this week.
Wow.
Donated again. We have Lowe's, who's just dropping at SF Enterprise. Home Depot, who again is just dropping at SF Enterprise. So big shout out to my favorite calling that I'm calling in. And then my family who just have been wanting to help. And so they're like, oh, can we send you money? No, I'm not taking money. You just go to SF Enterprise and drop off items. They will take it. No questions asked, of course. And then, of course, we have another event this Saturday hosted. We're on the flyer, but that's on the 12th, but we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. So I literally have been on the phone this week at work trying to get stuff for the island of Tonga, only because, I got water. I could take a shower whenever I want. I can eat whenever I want. I can cover up whenever I want. But because of the tsunami, it really shook me. So, and I have family members. Of course, it's any island that has any kind of disaster, we're going to help. But I felt really moved because I have family members that live on that island. So I'm pushing. So thank you to everyone who's donated, who continues to donate, and all the community-based organizations like Samoan Solutions, Pacific Islanders Together, all my Usos. Of course, Cree is out there hustling her butt off for stuff. Who else? Pacific Islander COVID response team down south with Elise. Her and her crew are having is promoting a concert going on by Island Block Radio. And funds from that concert, portion of the tickets that are sold are going to Tonga. So go follow Island Block Radio for more ticket information. I think it's at the House of Blues, Anaheim. Well, it is at the House of Blue in Anaheim. So go check them out. So that has been my big push till it's going to be my big push forever and a day. So that's keeping me busy. Then we had Oceania Leader Institute. They had a meeting yesterday, Saturday morning from 9:30 to 12:30. It's a 3-hour meeting or thing that they have. They meet regularly. And so Naopo and the Umu crew were invited to join because Dr. Nia spoke about justice, which it was such a good, I was like, dang, 3 hours?
Is it kind of a like a workshop style meeting? Or
it's kind of it's like a workshop. We broke out into groups with freaking amazing people in the, like Brandon, who is with Pikoa, is the facilitator. And then Dr. Nia spoke about justice within the islands. And it was really interesting to me. And then I recorded her. Sorry, Nia. I recorded her a little bit when she was talking about justice, and I played it for Mo, who was like, my hardcore Samoan, and he was like, he wants to join too, but sorry, you can't. But she talked about justice and the Constitution, how the Constitution doesn't pertain to us Pacific Islanders, but how do we live in a space where the laws are not created for us and written by us, but we still have to live under this Constitution. And how do we proceed, and how do we try to change it was really, really good. She talked about the island and their justice system, how stuff is just known in the island. It's not really taught in books, and it's handed down from generation to generation. Some of the laws that you just know, like the saw that happens in Samoa, it's a bell goes off at 6:00 in the evening, and you just know it's not even a law, but you just know that you get your ass home and you either study the Bible or read the Bible or have prayer. It's a known fact. It's just like law, and how when you go to a different village, you have to follow their laws and their rules, and you just do it. You just adjust. And so it's like us adjusting our ancestors adjusting to the United States when we got here. And how do we live in this area? And so the kids and I say kids because I was one of the oldest people in that room, but they're like, yeah, I don't know. It's a vast variety, but it's not just Samoans. It's the whole Pacific Island. There was Fijians, Palau, Chukis, Kosraean. I mean, our whole Pacific Island was in there, and it was just, it's so beautiful because some of the stuff that we talk about, it's just, we don't even Nia doesn't even have to explain. It's just a known shit. And so it was really good. And if you get a chance to join the next cohort for it's Oceania Leadership Institute, you should join. Our Leah Poasa has been in that cohort for since it started, and this is the first cohort. And so it's a really, really good class, and Neil will be teaching or speaking at the next 2 sessions, which I'll be joining. And it's just a really good class to just get further into the culture. And if you understand, it's a really good space to be in. It's like a safe space for PIs and just I don't know. It's hard to explain. It just if you're in that room, you'll get it. So get in there if you can. So that was really good. Listening to Dr. Nia, and of course, our Joseph was in there. Her and Dr. Joseph and Dr. Nia are the split EDs for Naopo. And so we were in there and Joseph looks really good. He's working on his health. So he lost like 35, 40 pounds. He looks amazing. And so he's, I guess he's working out because he's lost so much weight. But this year he's focusing on health like we all are. I do every January, and it's February, so I'm done with that. But Joseph looks really good. And so who else was in there? Melissa, who's with ACOM, Taffy. I mean, pretty much most of the Naopo, you were busy with softball. So, but yeah, it was a great bunch of, it was a great space to be in. So I was happy about that. So talking about justice. So the next 2 weeks, Neil will go into more justice. And I took a bunch of notes just because there's some stuff I didn't know, but I was grateful that she was teaching some Samoan quotes. So it was really good. Anyway, so that was good. And then also, what else happened this week? Dr. Reino Samoa, big congratulations to our leaders who were sworn in for the President's Advisory Committee on Asian American, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders. So they were sworn in by Vice President Harris, and we got to watch that. It was, of course, live online because of COVID-19. Of course, they're not gathered. So our very own Dr. Reino Samoa, who is the current chair of Naopo's Data and Research Council, was sworn in. He's also the technical assistant lead for Healing Association of Pacific Islander Physicians, which is happy doctor. And then also big congratulations to the other amazing PI leaders who were sworn in, Michelle Kauhane and Robert Underwood. So big woo woo for them. I love watching that. I love that that I actually knew somebody who got sworn in.
It was interesting to me that before in the past, you and I are old enough to remember times where people didn't care enough to learn the names.
Right.
Like an announcer of the game now, and it started, I don't know when it started, but there were points where like Troy Polamalu, his name was pronounced correctly by the end of his career. But there were times back before where people didn't even try to say the names correctly. Right. They had at least touched on the names because there were Asian names, there were Pacific Islander names, and they did a pretty good job with the names. So it was good to see that, the awareness of, I'm going to be announcing these people. Let's at least try to make an effort to get their names right. So it was a really cool event. I'm glad it was put out there virtually so that we could see it. It was, when was it? It was in the morning. Yeah. It's like 10 a.m. or something. But
excuse me.
It was nice to be able to tune in and see that moment and see Kamala talking to the people that are getting sworn in. So that was a good moment.
It was awesome to see. And I was at work watching it, bawling away. Good morning, Britt. Britt's checking in on Facebook.
Morning,
Thank you. I was bawling away because, of course, we have a relationship with Reino. And so it was amazing to see. And so very, very, very proud. So I was just happy to be in that space. What else? Snacky with Nacky, round 19 is back. So it's 50 cents. So our ask is, if you have 50 cents to donate, Venmo or Cash App. And then at the end of the round 19, whatever we collect, we go snacky or eat somewhere and tip the essential server or worker or whoever is in the restaurant that we feel gets a tip. So I just started that. I think I posted it yesterday. I'm close to almost $200. So thank you to everyone who's donated this far.
And where would they donate? If they were going to donate 50 cents, where would it go to?
My Venmo or Cash App?
It wouldn't go to PBDs.
Yeah, don't look for PBD. It's going to, and I think my Venmo is just at Nacky. And then my Cash App is $Nacky5. NACI 5, because I got 5 kids. So you can connect the two. So yeah, so round 19 is going on. We're going to tip an essential server at the end of the round, and I don't know how long I'm going. I just started yesterday, so maybe I'll collect for 2 weeks and then go tip and then take another break, because it's kind of hard. So yeah, we collect money and then we go tip the essential server, like I said. So if you feel it in your heart, 50 cents is all I ask. Don't make it a bill. 50 cents is all I'm asking. If you give more, of course, I appreciate it, which usually people give more, like, and I don't want to bust them out, but they get a sasa when I talk to them later. So
do they get banned?
they
get
don't
probation?
get banned. They just get they don't
get
get banned.
words.
They just get words. I exchange words with them because I don't want it to be a bill. We all have our own bills and our own stuff. 50 cents is easy. I think you can find 50 cents in your couch. So that is.
I can't remember who it was, but somebody, I think it was brother JT Tenadora.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said, "You can't stop me."
Yeah, I cannot
you
stop
had tried to reprimand them, give them lickings, and they said, "Yeah, that's nice, but you can't stop me because I can still give."
Yeah, JT with Rhythmic Catalyst always goes above and beyond, and I so appreciate Brother JT. If you give more than 50 cents, I appreciate you. Trust me, I appreciate you. So, I think that's all I got. I think that's all I got.
That's it.
Yep,
that's a busy week.
That's a lot. That's a lot. How was your week?
My week was tough. Energy. This is one of those weeks where energy was just tough to do. So getting through it, there was a lot of stuff to do this week, both from a work standpoint and from a PBD standpoint. I don't consider PBD work. I consider PBD heart activity. Like, it's good for my heart, good for my soul. So coming up with the energy to do things was tough to do, but the things that were out there this week were amazing. I mean, this was one of those weeks where I just appreciate putting out effort to get to places. And it kind of started at Malia's game. And I got to see the Moli family live and in action. Very interesting. Very passionate family members that support Malia as she was playing. And I was laughing at Naki because there was one point they were missing layups. They must have missed 5 or 6 layups in a row. And Naki she was behind me and she grabbed my shoulder and she'd be like, what's going on? And I was like, did you watch all the warm-ups? Because the other team was not scoring in warm-ups. In their layups, they were missing layups. And I was like, this game's a wrap. Malia's team going to smash them.
Yeah.
At one point, it was 48-0, and we were all cheering for the other team. And I loved seeing that the parents got over. At the beginning, it's like competitive, and at the end, when they finally scored, the other team scored. It was a free throw that broke the shutout, and the entire gym went crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody was cheering because the girls scored. So it was nice to see. It was great to see Malia doing what she loves, and spending time with my Moli family. And then after that, I got my Sunga time. I came over, kind of eat pizza, kind of have wings, kind of say hi to everybody, but mainly just to hang out with Sunga.
Sunga is my dog, by the way,
Sunga
if you don't know.
is the
My
Moli
husky
family's dog. That is an amazing dog, just mellow. None of the bad things that come with a dog, only the good things.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I was on the phone. You and I had a discussion earlier about how we gather whether we're healthy or not, whether, and I was on the phone with another community member, and we were talking about how it's almost like when you see people that are saying, I'm sick and I don't care, it's like you're watching them fail morality tests in living color. You're watching them not pass tests that they should be passing. Like, I am not going to go places where I may get somebody sick knowingly. Like, if I don't know I'm sick, then hey, we all do that. That's part of having the flu and not knowing you got a flu early. Those are the kind of things that when but to know that there are people that don't care, it just feels like you're watching people fail a test in living color. So that was kind of the COVID thing. There's always something going on with COVID during the week. And that was my discussion with that community member. Let's see. So I got to see Malia was in town. This is her senior year. This begins her final year of softball, of playing softball. So she had early on, we had talked to her about her, her career. And she basically said, look, I don't care about my freshman, sophomore, and junior year. If you're going to come to games, come to my senior year, come to senior night, which is in April. We just found out by accident through discussion with Malia. We just found out by accident. We're like, well, that would be good for us to know now and not later. But so we had committed her freshman year that we were going to go to as many games as we could her senior year. That started on Friday. On Friday, that was the beginning of her senior year. So she was actually playing in Roseville or Rockland or
close by
somewhere. So we got to hang out with her. That's a picture of Mom and Malia. And that's actually an edited picture. Malia has her arm over what should be her brother. Her brother Ty was at the game and then actually left. And then we didn't think we were going to get to see Malia. So he went on to go do his thing. And then we got to hang out with Malia in the lobby of the hotel. College athletics are much different than youth athletics. There's actually times when you see your kid and you can't go hang out with them. And then there's times you can. This is one of the things that really touched me that day was we were in the lobby of the hotel and we were sitting there eating kind of away from the team, but just enough so we could have our conversation, but Malia was still part of the team. And her eyes kept looking up and she goes, excuse me, hold on a second. I need to do this. And she yells out in this like mom coach kind of voice. And she's like, guys, listen up. And everything quiets down because they weren't listening to the coach. And so she's a player, but she's like a player coach. Like she yelled that out and she yelled it loud enough that there were employees in the hotel that were like, what the heck? Why is that girl yelling? So it's kind of touching to see her take a leadership role with her team. She's looking to coach. She may end up coaching. Good. She's not sure exactly what she's going to do. So I got to spend time with Scout, and that is the in-laws dog. That's it's Auntie Kathy and Grandpa Mike. That's their dog, and he's growing up to be a really cool dog. We're going to lose him. He's going to go to Arizona with grandparents. So spending time with him, that's me taking a picture of him, and he wasn't really interested in me taking a picture of him until he heard the click, the little shutter sound. That was interesting. So he was really interested. I got to walk him. I got to spend a lot of time with dogs this week, and not having a dog, that was cool. Let's see. And then last night I went to, after Malia left with her team and headed back, Nicole and I went to a place that we just randomly ended up at, and it's called the Burger Lounge in Roseville. Actually, let me back up. If we can back up a picture, there's a picture of Ty. Ty is coaching. He's a coach. He reffed a tournament this week, and we got to go watch him help kids and be in that leadership role. Almost as proud as like when I'm watching him play games. Like when I watched him play basketball, that was cool. But seeing him in, leading kids and teaching them how to shoot and reffing a basketball game and not calling traveling, actually stopping the game and telling the kid, hey, you got to bounce the ball when you're going up the court. Good times. So that ended last night. We went to a place called the Burger Lounge, and the reason that I thought I'd share it is, one, it's really good food, but two, it's it allows dogs. And I don't know that there's a lot of places that allow dogs.
Oh, that's like Lazy Dog.
Lazy Dog does. This is a place in Roseville in the Fountains, and they have a patio area for dogs.
Nice.
Really good food. Really good burger. I'm a burger guy.
Yeah, you're a burger guy.
If it's, and I would have liked going to In-N-Out just for a burger. Yeah. But this was, it's kind of the food. They have the grass fed and all the different kind of stuff. I just said, I just want a burger. And the atmosphere, just hanging out in the fountains and watching their music out there. It was prom, I don't know if prom night or something, but there were kids in these really formal outfits. I didn't see tuxes, but I saw like really formal dresses and outfits. So it was cool just hanging out. And I don't know if COVID is not a thing in Roseville, but there were like some masks and some
Indoors?
Indoors and outdoors. So outdoors, yeah. I mean, if you're walking around outdoors, it's not a, you're not masked. But indoors, in the restaurant we were in, some people were masked up and some people weren't. It's just, it was a weird feeling. I hadn't felt that way before, being out in public and just seeing just complete disregard. Not in California, at least. I mean, you see some of that stuff in Texas.
Does Roseville have a mandate for the masks indoors?
I think they just follow the state. I don't know that Roseville itself has different rules. So, yeah, that was my week.
Awesome.
A lot of good things to do.
Yeah.
There's a shot of the patio. There was a dog out there when we left. It was cool seeing people out there with their dogs. And seeing a restaurant that caters to dog owners. So
nice.
If you're ever in Roseville with Sunga, that'd be a good place to take her.
Yay. That's two places, like Lazy Dog and this place. Not too many people have
seems
dogs.
like there's more and more of those.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's becoming more places that are more dog friendly.
I don't know if I want to eat somewhere where dogs are, though.
No?
I know my dog is clean and chill, but I don't know about other people. Their dogs might have fleas or something and jump off and get in my food.
But not your Sunga.
Not my
never have
Sunga.
fleas.
No, she doesn't. We all check her when she goes outside, and when she comes back in, we're all over her furry. So yeah.
There's some dogs that are not allergic to fleas, so they can have fleas like crawling all over them and they don't itch. And then there's other dogs that are allergic to fleas and they can have one flea and they're like,
Going
biting at
crazy.
themselves and scratching themselves. But yeah, it's cool. I think it's cool seeing more dogs out. Yeah, you're right. I mean, but it's outside where you can have your dogs outside. It's not inside. I see more dogs in grocery stores now, and I guess they're what do you call it, support animals. But I'd never seen many dogs in like grocery stores where they're selling food. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing.
Yeah, nah, not good. Unless they're whatever, the health dogs,
the support animals.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to break right now, and coming up next, stay tuned because we have Mataele, Finau, and Sela, Tukia, who are standing by, ready to tell you everything about the great event that they're throwing together. So we will be right back.
Join us tomorrow at 5 p.m. for the award-winning show Koviki Talk, where we talk about all things COVID-19, but from the Pacific Islander perspective. We deliver timely, important, and most importantly, accurate health-related information relevant to the PI community. It's Pacific Islander health and community representatives speaking directly to the PI community. Essence of Mana is offering free classes via Zoom. They're reaching out to our PI community, and it doesn't matter where you live, you just need to be able to commit to the course, which is 12 weeks. For more information or to register, you can hit up Lulu Masina at 415-243-6328 or El Masina at healthright360.org. They also have Talanoa Tuesday every week at 7 p.m., hosted by Nani Wilson and Lulu Masina. Check out all their episodes on the Essence of Mana Facebook page.
The first annual Pacific Feast Festival is happening Saturday, July 9th at the Santa Clara County Fairgrounds, featuring various PI artists such as Fiji, Sammy J, Maoli, Tanel, and the Bay Area's very own K-Mub Cobb. And more artists are being added every week. Please go to PacificFeatsFestival.com to get your tickets.
Come check us out.
We'll be there. Protect your kids the best way possible with COVID vaccines, which are tailored for children 5 to 11. Talk to a health worker if you have questions. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. We can do this. The Abundant Birth Project, a pregnancy income supplement pilot program for Black and Pacific Islander pregnant people in San Francisco. This program is providing a monthly stipend at $1,000 during pregnancy and during the postpartum period to Black and Pacific Islander pregnant peoples in San Francisco. The purpose of ABP is so that you can worry less about money and focus on having a healthy and safe pregnancy. expectingjustice.org/abundantbirth-project. Go there, get your money, get your money.
How much is it?
$1,000
A month?
A month.
Every month?
Every month.
Man, get your money. The Amu Blood Drive is happening March 19th, 2022 from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 2055 Sunnydale Avenue, San Francisco, California. For more details, visit linktr.ee/all-my-usos or contact Christine Mauia at 650-219-1081.
The 7th annual Amu Barbecue is happening August 20th at Gilman Park in San Francisco. It's a free family affair for the entire family.
How much is it?
Free.
Free.
Free 99. Parking is free. The food is free. You just got to show up.
Come check us out. We'll be there.
And we're back. You're listening to the Faika broadcast. I am Naki, and with me as always is Carl.
Good morning.
So this morning, after our check-ins, we have the honor, the pleasure. We're so humbled to have these two amazing people stop by and talk about their event that's going on. So I'm going to introduce Mata. Mataele Finau is tall. He's dark. He's single. Hit me up if you want to date. Look at that handsome face. Tongan born and raised in Hawaii and Utah, helped to establish the National Tongan American Society in Utah during graduate school in 1998. Now opening the Bay Area chapter, woo woo, and has lived 3 times throughout his short life. Currently resides in Oakland and works full-time managing a textile firm in downtown San Francisco. A civic activist, community leader, and has worked with many Polynesian organizations. Welcome, Mata, to the Faika broadcast.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here. Hope you guys good morning.
I think Mata's on mute.
Oh.
Am I on mute?
And also with us is Sela Tukia. Sela Tukia has had the honor to serve as the Tongan consul at the Consulate General of Tonga here in the Bay Area for 11 years. The Consulate General is principally responsible for the Tongan diaspora here on the mainland, cultivates relations with local, state, and federal agencies. Other Consulate Generals work closely with agencies sharing issues of mutual interest, such as PCRC, Tau Lama for Tongans, Tonga San Francisco Interfaith, CSM, EPIC, NTAS, Pacifica by Design, to name a few, promotes investment and trade, enhances cultural and education ties and tourism opportunities in-country and inter-country. The Consulate General's jurisdiction covers North and South America, but is not limited to other areas of close geographical proximity. Sela has worked for the government of Tonga for 25 years, including stints as First Secretary at the Tonga High Commission in London, Chief of Protocol at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and Secretary to His Majesty's Privy Council in Nuku'alofa. She was born and raised in Tonga, which she considers an invaluable experience in paving the way forward in her career path and instrumental in forming who she is today. Sela speaks Tongan, English, and some French and Japanese, and also enjoys reading, traveling, and meeting people. She's married to Phil Tukia, a Tongan attorney here in California, and they have one son, Simeone. Tukia says, it is an honor to serve at the Tonga Consulate General in the Bay Area, which has enabled me to draw on my experience and strengths to serve my people and country as best I can. This is an exciting yet challenging time that we live in, and never could go the saying ring more true. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, we should go together. Welcome, Sela.
Hey there, Colin.
Testing. Can you hear me?
Thank you so much for having me here this morning.
Can you
and
hear me,
it's
Naki?
Hey there. Malolele.
Malolele. We can hear you, Mata.
Yep.
Oh gosh, where can I hear them?
Yeah, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We know you guys are crazy busy, so we appreciate your time. I know that you guys have a fundraiser coming up, and so we want to talk about that. But tell us a little bit about why you're starting the NTAS here in the Bay Area. Are you up, Mata? Or maybe we'll go to Sela. Sela, you want to tell us about the event that's happening?
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, sure. Thanks so much. I popped in last Sunday, really enjoyed myself listening to you. Thank you for all the great work and just being here with the audience and listening. I'm just feeling really uplifted on this first Sunday of February. I don't know where the time is going, right? Flying by. So, Mata and friends are looking to establish the National Tongan American Society here in the Bay Area. There's already a branch in Salt Lake City and perhaps in Honolulu. And as you've seen all over the news coverage, probably over the past 3 or so weeks, our island home kingdom of Tonga sadly got affected by the huge volcano eruption of the 15th of January 2022. It's a date, Carl and Neki, that will go down in the history of our people. It was just absolutely devastating. In addition to the fact that we're still trying to deal with COVID here, and then this huge natural disaster happens, and there was a lot of ash fall, and coupled with that, with the damage that was affected by the tsunami waves. So Tonga, 85% of the people. So this is one of the events that the NTAS branch here in the Bay Area, and Mata is the front person at the moment, and we are happy as a consulate to support this great stuff that they're going to get into. They're going to have an event next Saturday, the 12th of February in the city. It's going to take place from 4 to 9. I'm sorry, I don't know the address off by heart, but I think when Mata comes in, we're looking forward to what he's got in store for us. We urge anyone who's listening in at this time, and maybe we'll listen to the replay back later. If you've got some spare time on your hands and some spare change, please come and support us. There are so many rallies going on, and it might seem like rally bombardment, but every little cent counts. Every little thing that you might be able to donate, even the love that we have here in this program this morning, just for our Tongan people, only 105,000 people. That's the population. I always tell people when I meet them here in the States, if you'd like my autograph, because we're an endangered species, I'll sign on the dot. Of course, we all know, just like our other fellow Pacific Island countries, there's probably just as many more people from Tonga who are here overseas, New Zealand, Australia, and in the States too. But, sharing the love, I think that's what it's all about, these really hard 2 years we've just gone through.
Yeah, it's so true. And I just, like you said, there is a lot of community-based organizations that are pulling together, which I always talk about how beautiful it is. It doesn't matter what island you come from. It's our sister island, Tonga, who this happened to. And so everyone just is doing everything they can to get supplies there. So we really appreciate the event that is happening Saturday. The address I have is 750 Battery Street, Suite 150 in San Francisco. And so we'll have Mata come in and talk about the event that's happening next week for the fundraiser for Tonga.
Sorry, guys. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Loud and clear.
Yeah. So, the day after the horrific events in Tonga happened, I cried myself to sleep.
Right.
But I woke up early the next morning, and I made a promise to God that I would dedicate the next 3 years of my life to do whatever I can to help out. So a lot of my family and even our home in the Hihifo district in the Northern Peninsula was destroyed. So it impacted me personally, but more so just listening to the children's cries on the videos that I saw. It just affected me so much that I made a promise to God that the next 3 years, I'm going to dedicate myself to do whatever I can to help out. So this is not just a temporary relief project. It's going to be a Tonga ongoing project for me at NTAS. Yes, we'll focus on other issues, but to me personally, that's my dedication. And so, it used to be hard for me to ask people for money. I can't tell you the miracles that has happened ever since I committed to this. Like, doors have opened up. It's just amazing. I mean, I couldn't believe my boss wanted to donate do a fundraiser with my company, give the space to do the first fundraiser. I've never put a board of directors together so fast than this. That we've come together as like people committed to want to do something. And I told them it's long term. This is not a temporary fix. This is a long-term commitment to help back home any way we can. And I'm telling you, just miracle after miracle of things happening that I know that, God, has called us to do this. And so my group is committed, to work with Sela and the rest of our Tongan community to make an impact to help those, especially those that we want to focus on are those that are marginalized and who are not accessible oftentimes to help, or they don't have family overseas that can help. We want to identify those families and we want to work with them to see what we can do to better their lives and at least bring them some kind of hope. And so, yeah, I'm excited, and yet I'm a little scared of the challenges ahead, but I'm so comforted by our group. I mean, our chairperson is Daimani Lauti. He runs a group called Ikuna, and he's been the stake president of the LDS Tongan East Stake for 11 years. So his outreach is huge. Our vice chair is Reverend Sifa Hingano, who's the most ecstatic, enthusiastic, warmest reverend I've ever met. And he's committed. And so, and the rest of our group, those of you that get to attend our event will get to meet them. They're all excited to be part of this project and this movement to give back to Tonga.
I think you're good. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that, and I've always said this, that I'm not a fan of the government in the initial response because it takes so long for things to move. The individuals and the private the private industry can be the ones to move the quickest in the United States. You don't have to go through, if you're going to get the government to move in the United States, it takes a long time. If you're going to get individual people, like you're saying, Mata, to rally behind the cause, it can be right now. Like it can be SF Enterprise on the dock right now saying, bring things right now and we'll ship them right now over there. So the speed of which the individual can react, I've always admired. And I think that because like acts of kindness and gratitude and those kind of things, those don't make the news feed. Those don't make the news. That's not you don't lead with that kind of a headline that, hey, there's good people out there. It just doesn't sell. So when you're going out there and you're trying to find good people, I think sometimes people think like they might be hard to find, when in truth, there are lots of people out there that are just looking for ways to get involved. And so I always, look at efforts that you're making and on the ground efforts where the community is asked to rally and just react right now. Like, do you have change in your pocket? Do you have canned goods? All those kind of things that the individual can just pick up and go down there and do things right now without a bill or a vote or, those kind of things. That's so inspiring to see. Have you been surprised at the response at how quickly, like Naki's been involved where there's biker clubs and there's, nonprofit organizations that are just like, where do we meet and where do we give the things? Have the two of you been surprised at how quick and overwhelming the response has been?
If I may just say, we have been overwhelmed by the response in a really good way. And I think it was because the irony of it is all was the disconnect technologically, how we couldn't communicate with Tonga. But in spite of that, we seem to get all these images that came out, to the international community. And that really touched a lot of people. I think what I'd like to say is, I totally agree with what you're saying, Carl. It's trying to steer people to the drive, to the community drive or donation drive that will best fit them at this point in time. It's going to get immediately out there to Tonga. We're faced with challenges at the moment because of the COVID restrictions. Tonga has been very strict. And sad to say this week, was the first 4 cases of community transmission, which were detected inland. So they've all gone into lockdown and they're a little bit more mindful now of the incoming goods and supplies. But, the show has to go on. So it's almost like one natural disaster superimposed on another one, but we know that they're going to do their very best. What has come through has really touched me at the moment is the psychological effects of those who are in the outer islands and the Mata's region that was hugely impacted by the tsunami waves. They're still psychologically affected. We're so grateful that it happened in broad daylight. Can you imagine? But they saw the waves coming. They ran for their lives to higher ground. They saw their houses, demolished by those big waves. And that's still lingering in their thoughts and their minds. They don't sleep well at night. And we are just unsure whether they have enough resources and capability out there in the islands to give the counseling and support. But like I've been saying, love will go a long way, and the good old scripture, I think, will hopefully help. And we'll send our great vibes here from the land of the great America.
Yeah, I think and when I say government in the sense of like the government, when they responded in the United States, like the response to Katrina, the response to a lot of the big, large scale disasters has been slow. And it's been, and that's really what I was talking about is the community on the ground. If your neighbor is hurting and needs water and food, the neighbor is going to be far quicker to get there, and the community and the village and the loved ones and the family are going to be the first level of support. And that's kind of what I'm seeing with Tonga is it's the family, the extended community in the United States, across the Pacific. It's the individuals that are really flowing to support, and inspiring to see. Mata, have you been surprised in the Bay Area of and you had talked a little bit about seeing people come to you and flow to this. I think the difference is, and Sela had put it really well, is we've gone through natural disasters before, but have we gone through natural disasters in a pandemic? So we're used to getting things to storage or shipping containers and getting them into the Pacific, but are we used to doing all these things in a pandemic? And that's just like Sela had said, it layers on yet another exponential difficulty or adversity to doing these things. How have you been able to handle and deal with that, Mata?
I just think the response from everywhere is just amazing. I don't know if social media has an impact on that, but I think people got to see things live happening at the moment, from the initial blast of the volcano and the earth-shaking experiences people were having in Tonga. People got to watch that.
Right.
And then to see, videos of the waters rising in churches, and hear children crying. Like, it was so vivid. I think this time, I'm not sure if it happened previous to this, but I think that has helped to initiate the response that we see today. And, I'm just amazed. It's like all the organizations that I worked with, and they're non-Tongan, they have emailed and asked how they could help. All my coworkers, like, if you didn't know about Tonga, you do now.
Yeah.
Like, we're an international company, and I'm getting emails from people all over our company, like emailing me when they found out, and like, oh my gosh, you're from Tonga, da 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 da, and then, how can we help? And so, and I have a cousin coming in from New York for the event. He's an opera singer, and I reached out to him as he's coming, and he said, "Oh, I'm so glad that you got me involved, because I'm trying to figure out, like, how can I help?" And that's the response that I found. Every person that I touch base with, that's the same response. How can I help? And so I'm just amazed. Like, I've had meetings with the property management over vendors in the San Francisco airport and the director of the airport at the Oakland airport. We're going to do things there this whole next 3 years. Like, doors have just been opening. I have a nephew that plays for the New England Patriots, Harvey Lange. He's doing stuff with the owners, Robert Kraft and his foundation. I've reached out to Stephen Adams, and me and him in conversation. Hopefully we'll meet in DC soon. I'm meeting with a playground contractor, international contractor called Kaboom. I told them we want to build playgrounds for the children of Tonga, throughout Tonga, because they've been impacted, like Sela said, psychologically. How can we bring some kind of hope and happiness to the children? And so, yeah, I'm flying to DC next month to meet with them. and how we can partner up in building these playgrounds throughout Tonga. There's a lot of things that I've even got fundraisers all the way to April lined up. I went to a bar Friday night after work, and the owner is Chinese. And I said to him, "You didn't happen to know about the volcanic eruption in Tonga?" And he's like, "You're from Tonga? My best friend is from Tonga." And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" He pulled out his phone and was showing me all the photos that his Chinese friend in Tonga shared to him. As soon as he said that, I said, "By the way, can we have a fundraiser here?" I am so good at asking Naki and Carl. You will just not believe it. I went to a pickleball thing yesterday, 2 of them. I was handing out flyers, talking to people. Can you help? What industry do you work in? I'm like going to be a professional kole person, Sela, for the next 3 years. I'm going to go everywhere, high and low, wherever I'm going to go and do this outreach because I'm so determined to help.
I love it. I love it. I think like you said, Mata, watching the videos when it was happening, while it was going on, it was instant for us. So I think that's why there's so much outpour to help. And if you watch those videos and didn't move to do something, that's, like you said, we were all crying, wondering what can we do? What can we do? And like you, I hate asking for anything. I hate it. It just, my whole body cringes when I have to ask somebody for something. But when this happened, I started calling in favors. Hey, remember when we did this? Can you support with pallets? I just started calling everybody I knew, and the outpour, because they seen what happened. You can see the pictures happening live. And I just shared a couple, and people were willing to share because we're human, right? We see this, and we see the kids, sitting there crying. We see them while the whole island is shaking. I think that had a lot to do with people giving, because they're seeing it happen. To tell them, oh, this happened in Tonga. I try to describe it is kind of hard, but to see the pictures and the live videos, I think that really drew people to want to give. So I'm with you. I'm an asking fool now. I'm like, can you, do you know, remember that time? Can you give? Can you
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a lot easier to ask for other people. Like if I'm going to ask for PBD, if I'm going to go to somebody and say, hey, can you give to, my organization? Like I feel all kind of weird about that. Right. But if I'm asking for Tonga, or I'm asking for other people, then it's just, it feels good to ask, because it's a different thing. It's not like it's for me or for my organization. The Olympics opened this week, and notably absent was Tafa Tofua. And they said that in the opening ceremony, the commentators had said, notably absent is somebody that you've been used to seeing in the last 2 Olympics, because he's helping at home. He's back at home helping. And the Samoan tried to pick that up and carry that flag for the notice of the Pacific Islanders. But I noticed that even in the Olympics, they said, that's where he is. He's out helping at home. So
that could have been you, Mata. You could have been
right.
We could have
Peter's doing a wonderful job.
We need Mata here for the fundraiser on Saturday. Do his planning. Peter Tafatofu is doing a great job out there. The last time I checked in on his website, on his handle, was that I think he'd raised about 700 Ks. I wasn't sure whether it's US dollars or Australian dollars, but he's doing great stuff. This natural disaster has also brought us to the point where we have to think outside of the box. So, say for example, in terms of natural disasters, the electricity is down, the internet is disconnected, so sending money has been a challenge for the diaspora overseas. It takes time to send goods from the States, at least a good 4 weeks. So we started thinking out of the box this time, sending perhaps from New Zealand, sending our money to New Zealand and getting the supplies to go down for there, also from Fiji to Tonga. So there's interesting things that have evolved. Peter's doing a fantastic job. I always have people who ask me, they say, Mrs. Tukia, does everybody look like that in Tonga? But I said, of course, we all look like that. Hello. But he's been doing a bread drive and sending a whole container full of flour and goods and stuff like that back to Tonga to distribute bread out to the communities and so forth. So, but he's always waving the flag, not just for Tonga, for the Pacific Islands. So that was notable for them to say that at the Winter Olympics opening.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome that people are just giving and giving and giving. Tell us a little bit about your event. What time does it start? What is going to happen that day?
So it's our official launch. I just, the day after I started planning this event, started organizing, and so I'm like, asked my boss the next morning, can I have a fundraiser here? He said, yes, how can I help? And we have valet parking. And I asked if I could use the valet parking, and you have to pay like $1,500. The building manager called me and said, hey, I'm going to give it to you for free. Just pay for the valet guys, which is like $350. The valet guy calls me on Friday to come down there, and he says, you know what? I'm going to work your event for free. I'm just like, things are just falling into place. But yeah, it's just a kind of informal event for people to come and show their support. We'll have a little entertainment. Like I said, my cousin from New York, opera singer, is going to there perform some operas and some Tongan songs. We have a few dancers performing. Yeah, so I think it'll be a fun event. Of course, we'll have some food, not all you can eat kind of food, but like all you can see.
Okay, he's trying to be on a diet here.
Because we're on a budget, kind of.
I think the Pacific Islander, you got to note that Pacific Islanders have to say if it's.
So all my sisters, they're the ones handling the food. And I didn't ask them. I just told them, we got this event we got to do. You guys are in charge of the food and the decorations.
Voluntold.
And so my sisters are flying in to help out. And so, yeah, I'm comforted to know that they're going to be there to help out on this event. So, yeah.
That's so awesome.
And yesterday, I got a phone call. I didn't know where I was going to store our containers. Like, I don't have an office space or a warehouse. I get a phone call from one of our distributors in Hayward, and he goes, we have a huge lot. Whatever you need to store there, whenever, we are there to support you for free. And I'm just like, wow, we got a place. And I called the Reverend, and I told Sifa, we got a place. We don't have to worry about it anymore. It's just amazing.
It is. It's beautiful to see people opening their hearts and giving freely just because they know it's the right thing to do and they want to help. They just don't know how. And so for you to have this event is giving them an outlet to give and to love all over NTAS. So thank you, Mata, for putting this event on. And thank you, Sela, for everything that you guys are doing. Please keep us updated. We're gonna let you get your Sunday back. I know Sela is gonna run to church and pray for us. So thank you for that. But thank you so much. We'll repost your flyer again. It's happening this Saturday from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. at 750, right? Mata, 750 Battery Street. Yeah. And get a hold of Mata. All the information there is on the flyer. Please reach out to the both of them if you have any questions. Of course, we'll have your information in the flyer posted. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate you.
Yeah,
thank you. Love you too.
Mata, I'll call you.
All
Thanks so much, Marlon. Like, you have a happy February.
You too.
Thank you so much. You too. Have a blessed day.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
God bless you. That's so awesome.
It's so amazing to see the just Mata saying, I'm going to make this my mission. And,
yeah.
You've been a one-woman gang, making things happen and rustling up donations and getting people to SF Enterprises. So it's people like you and like Mata that are making a difference for that island.
Oh, yeah. It's just stuff that they need, but thank you. It's just it's not even me, it's everybody else dropping off stuff. This Saturday too, if you're not, it's in the morning, so at 11:30 before you go to Mata's event, hit the donation drive for Tonga is happening in Daly City at starts at 11:30 a.m. You can just drop your stuff and then go home and get ready for Mata's event. It looks like the supplies that they need is water, medical supplies, non-perishable foods, hygiene kits, flashlights, glow sticks, batteries, anything you can give, anything and everything is appreciated. So yeah, that's happening February 12th, 11:30 to 3 p.m. And of course, Mata's event put on by NTAS Bay Area is also happening that day from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. at 750 Battery Street. Please attend both or attend one or other, wherever you feel. Both are going to help the island of Tonga with supplies. So we're so grateful to have had Mata and Sela on this morning. Please go follow NTAS on all social media outlets and then follow Mata on all social media outlets as well.
The single Mata.
The tall, dark, and single Mata. Hit me up. I'll give you the down low on him. I'll get you his number.
Inside track.
But yeah, they're they're on a mission. They're on a mission to get supplies to Tonga. So if anywhere you can help, even a case of water goes a long way. So, and
when you don't have water, when you turn your water, you hit that tap and nothing comes out. A case of water means a lot.
A case of water means a lot. So how lucky are we that we just get to turn a faucet on or go to the store to buy water? So a case of water literally goes a long way. So
you think about some of the families there, some of the homes there, they have catchment systems. So they have, basins that catch rainfall, or they catch, rainfall that comes off of roofs, right? So if you have ash that flies everywhere and you didn't get a chance to cover that water's no good anymore.
The water's no good. And that's basically what happened.
Right. And you think about a situation where that's how you get your water. Like that, it's not necessarily turning on, a mainstream centralized water source. It's turning on tap water that's coming from your catchment system.
Right.
A lot of those people, they didn't know what was going on and they didn't get a chance to cover their water source.
Yeah. So there you go. Anything you can do to help, reach out to them and drop supplies where you can this weekend in Daly City and in San Francisco. We encourage you. It sounds like it's going to be a great event that they're putting on at 750 Battery Street, Suite 150. There is fee to get in. Proceeds to that will go to help the island of Tonga. Please reach out and we will post the flyer. There it goes. It's so beautiful. There you go. Like Mata said, they're going to have opera singer, entertainment. They'll have some light food. They'll have food. Really, you're not there to eat, folks. You're there to donate. You're there to donate and help because you want to. So there you go. I think that I forgot to mention that I went to Journey to Empowerment, and that happens every first Friday of the month, put on by Essence of Mana. I just wanted to put that out there because I had such a great time with Sister Nani and Lulu. So anything else?
No, I was part of the beginning of Journey to Empowerment and the icebreaker, but I was actually leaving one of Malia's games and headed to, where was I going? We were going to the hotel to hook up with her and spend some time with her. So I was there for the check-ins, got to hear members of Happy, a different Happy organization, and Alicia was on. It was cool to see, and I can't wait till we are able to meet in Daly City at our second home again and see people face to face.
The other Happy is Healthy Hearts Among Pacific Islanders. So they have a survey going on, and maybe I'll get the flyer and throw it out there so you guys can join. But that is it for us. Well, you'll see us tomorrow on Koviki Talk, where we'll have Sela, who will be talking, we're hitting islands. So tomorrow is the island of Tonga. We'll have Alicia on and Sela, who will be our guest for Koviki Talk tomorrow at 5 p.m. Please join us live on PBD. We'll also be live on the Naopo Facebook page and on YouTube, 5 p.m. Pacific time. I think that covers it. We'll see you next week at 10 a.m. here on Facebook, YouTube, and every listening thing you got will be there. Except for, I don't know about Spotify. We may, but we'll talk about that next time. And then Monday, Koviki Talk at 5. Every Wednesday at 10 a.m. we are on Island City. Download the Dash Radio app. 10 o'clock. Tune in and catch us there. We will be back next week. Come back to Faika with us.
Love y'all.
Our voice is our liberation.
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 O pingoa ko sina aloi tāwhuna tu I vai pēka ko haumi la paha mua Tonga tapu maulele mai ki Amerikani mo family I he taha November tahiwa wau noa o eke tai ai ha state te mau hiki ki ai ne talo pe mau mai he tai wau noa no foi pe se atoni pa ko mari muri pe mo ki whanau to tolu I mo puna e ua pe o ko au na ka kibitaia me he ngawe I he pon ngawe ako I he tau e wanima ya o kibitaia I he pasi tau e ua ya ko kaunga ta mai kana palele e ko kalama ki ka to lekele kai se atoni ngawe o tokonia ai si ka to lekele ka ki o hi ke na fi na mo oi he toinga na mo oi yo ku tau sa ia ke kuku pe o tau ma pe ko maha ki pe ko ha fa nga me o tau sino o ka ki tau share pe ko u me ai te ne hanga o to o mai ai fa nga ta ia ki tau mo ui tau te fito ki he lere ko ni ke maha ki ko ni ai pandemic ko COVID-19 o tau fe amo ia o mau inga o pito ke tau fe ngoi mo whanongo ki he tutu uni ko tuku mai ke ave tau tolu o huhu ko hia ke koe kawe pio ke whakatau ke lolo e tau mui ke o te tau poke. My hope for Tongans that if you don't have love and happy inside you, I believe that you cannot share. You cannot live healthy. You cannot listen to each other. It's very important that we have that inside us. We have our culture, it's very important. And then we also have to listen to what's directed by the outside during COVID-19 for us to be able to live longer and stay healthy. Koe o mahawinga pito koe tau nofo koe ni ke tau whiongongoi ka pauhika ki ia tau tore o wha mo te tokoni aki e whaingataa ke tau whanongo ki he utala tutu uni o ka mai ka tau tolu ke tau mo ifu oloa hangi koni ko tau maha ki whakauha koni o tau whea mo ia mahau inga o pito ke tau mui pia mo awe ki tau tolu ke tau whanga e huhu koni o tuku mai ulaki mo ua ko ia pe ko tau kawe pe mo ilere Mo'unga Hiki hake homonga hile o tala
Whakaha.
To o mai ae matapa kia te au ke fufulu e kuhia I he vai ola ke maahine hina I hota ata ke umau ai pale kola to o mai ai
Join us tomorrow at 5 p.m. for the award-winning show Koviki Talk, where we talk about all things COVID-19, but from the Pacific Islander perspective. We deliver timely, important, and most importantly, accurate health-related information relevant to the PI community. It's Pacific Islander health and community representatives speaking directly to the PI community. Essence of Mana is offering free classes via Zoom. They're reaching out to our PI community, and it doesn't matter where you live, you just need to be able to commit to the course, which is 12 weeks. For more information or to register, you can hit up Lulu Masina at 415-243-6328 or El Masina at healthright360.org. They also have Talanoa Tuesday every week at 7 p.m., hosted by Nani Wilson and Lulu Masina. Check out all their episodes on the Essence of Mana Facebook page.
The first annual Pacific Feeds Festival is happening Saturday, July 9th at the Santa Clara County Fairgrounds, featuring various PI artists such as Fiji, Sammy J, Maoli, Tanel, and the Bay Area's very own K-Mub Cobb. And more artists are being added every week. Please go to PacificFeedsFestival.com to get your tickets.
Come check us out.
We'll be there. Protect your kids the best way possible with COVID vaccines, which are tailored for children 5 to 11. Talk to a health worker if you have questions. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. We can do this. The Abundant Birth Project, a pregnancy income supplement pilot program for Black and Pacific Islander pregnant people in San Francisco. This program is providing a monthly stipend at $1,000 during pregnancy and during the postpartum period to Black and Pacific Islander pregnant peoples in San Francisco. The purpose of ABP is so that you can worry less about money and focus on having a healthy and safe pregnancy. expectingjustice.org/abundantbirth-project. Go there, get your money,
How much is it?
$1,000.
A month?
A month.
Every month?
Every month.
Man, get your money. The Amu Blood Drive is happening March 19th, 2022 from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 2055 Sunnydale Avenue, San Francisco, California. For more details, visit linktr.ee/allmyusos or contact Christine Mauia at 650-219-1081.
The 7th annual Amu Barbecue is happening August 20th at Gilman Park in San Francisco. It's a free family affair for the entire family.
How much is it?
Free.
Free.
Free 99. Parking is free. The food is free. You just got to show up.
Come check us out. We'll be there.